What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Legendary Season 2, Episode 6. And so we are having our first money ball. This is a non-elimination ball, but there are going to be 3 categories. In each category, the houses can win money. So the first category is an all-house event, right? It's an all-house performance. The theme is plastic. Hold on, let me get to my notes. Gotta turn the page. But it's plastic fantasy, like Toyland. The guest judge this week is Amaya Sky. I absolutely love Amaya Sky. I think she is fucking gorgeous. Okay? She is gorgeous. If you don't know who Amaya Sky is, she was on Star. I mean, she's done other things too, but she's also a ballroom legend for Face, right? So the floor performance, of course, we're going to look at the elements of Vogue, but the focus this week is floor performance. And it's just that. It's you on the floor, doing what you're doing, yada, yada, booda, booda, bang. Okay? So for the first round, the judges will hold their points. So like normally at the end of each performance, the judges give their score, yada. Nobody knows what their score is until the end. And then the second, we'll get to the second round. So the first round, like I said, is floor performance. So Mugler went first. Remember, the big critique of Mugler last week was they didn't look like they were having fun. They didn't look like there was any love on the floor. That it was all business, and they were just very much just like, this is a job. We're gonna go out here and do it. We're gonna go home. And I think they took the criticism and they did not overcorrect. They just corrected. Sometimes you can overcorrect. I think that's what the House of Garcon did last week with the whole Tonka criticism from the week before. I think they overcorrected and they put too much on Tonka. Because I'm not sure anyway, that was last week. So, the inspiration for their performance, each one had to have a toy. They had to have a toy inspiration. And I feel like for probably copyright reasons, I don't know, they couldn't say the actual toy, so they said sort of like a toy-like. So theirs was basically Rainbow Bright. It was Rainbow Bright, chat. But they were like, rainbow something, but it was Rainbow Bright. And each one of them had a different color, and I felt like the performance was fun. The performance was light. They were having fun. They were smiling. They definitely took the critique, and I feel like they came out and they gave us a really good performance. I wrote fun and energetic, and the judges were happy as well. Again, we don't get the actual score, but I feel like the judges genuinely were happy with what they saw. So, boom. Then we had the House of Garcon. Now, the House of Garcon, theirs was basically the Transformers. Now, let me tell you something. The beginning of their performance and the end of their performance, everything. Because the beginning of the performance, they came out like a car. They came out like a transformer, like they were an actual car, and then they sort of detached each piece, and their costumes were, the face makeup, like it was everything, right? But they were stiff, I felt like. I don't feel like I got enough floor performance. I already know what my girl Abby Reviews is going to say because I don't feel like I got any floor performance out of them. Unfortunately, once again, Tonka is the center of attention. He slips. Now, he kept it going, and I'm not going to necessarily, it didn't take away from the performance, but again, it wasn't great. Like I said, the beginning was everything. The end was everything. Because at the end, they got back. They became the car again. So, I was here for that. But the actual performance, it just didn't give me a lot. I'm sorry. And I like Garcon, but this wasn't their week for me. It wasn't their week. Next was Balenciaga. They were like a Barbie toy, paper doll type of thing, right? of course, Mother Shannon was Barbie, and everybody else was the Ken dolls. Once again, we had no honey. So they didn't even mention it this week. Well, at least if they did, I didn't hear it. So whatever, they have not gotten to into what honey, just that she's had really close loss and that she is in mourning. And so I guess, I guess she'll be back when she'll be back. And that's, listen, it is what it is. Balenciaga, I wrote they ate. I just thought it was a good performance. It was a good performance. They gave me good a good floor show. They gave me like I said, the costumes were everything. Mother Shannon did her thing. She even danced a little bit, honey. She didn't get on that floor though. She didn't get on that floor. She didn't do that. But she gave me a little Vogue action type of thing. Okay. So I was here for it. I enjoyed Balenciaga's performance. The judges did as well. The judges enjoyed it as well. Tichi was G.I. Joe. I don't even know if I have the words for that performance. That performance was, I feel like saying everything isn't even good enough. Bitch, let me tell you something. They shut that shit down. They were in all green. Once again, they gave us face makeup and it was from head to toe. Their floor performance was synchronized. I'm gonna tell you what their floor performance looked like to me. It almost looked like, like synchronized swimming, and they did like a twirl thing where they were spinning, and it was, oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. And then at the end, they did this thing where one jumped into the other one's arms and kind of looked like they were shooting off a cannon, and you heard the sound effects was like, the bomb going through the air and landed, and then the other three fell down like they had just gotten shot by that cannon. Bitch, go home. Everybody else, just go home. It was fun. It kept my attention the whole time. It was good. It was just good. It was good. Now, unfortunately for the House of Richie, they had to come behind that. Okay. The House of Richie's performance was okay. Wasn't great. Wasn't horrible. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little bored. They did marionette puppets. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I was bored. And Law, you heard him mumble after it was over. He was talking to one of the other judges and was like, "Were you bored?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so I was in sync with Laomi for the majority. Her critiques were my critiques for the majority of these performances. I think because they weren't giving their scores immediately after the performance, their criticism was a little more. It wasn't as, for the exception of Laomi, it wasn't as critical as it normally could be. Because like Law was nice to Richie after he got finished saying that the damn performance was boring. So I don't know. But I think, again, I just think it was because they weren't necessarily critiquing, like they weren't giving a score in that moment. But anyway. So that was that. Okay. Now, and I feel like they gave a decent floor performance. Listen, after the House of Tichi, it was just hard. I think anybody coming after the House of Tichi, it would have been hard. It just would have been. The next category was European Runway. The next round was European Runway, and they had to do it in sync. So you had to walk with at least one other person from the house, and it had to be the European style of runway in sync. Now, the house of Balenciaga used their power for Superior House to give them a pass for the first round because European runway is hard to do it in sync. It's a hard category, and this is the either you getting all tens or you getting chopped. So they gave themselves a pass to the next category, which I mean not the next category, the next round, which was the final round, which was a smart ass move. Okay. Um, Mugler was chopped immediately. Garcon chopped. The house again, the house of Balenciaga got a pass for that first round. Then the house of Tichi, the house of Richie. So it came down to Balenciaga, Tichi, and Richie. Um, the house of Balenciaga ended up winning round two, and round two was for $5,000. I think the first round was $10,000. Second round was $5,000, and the third round was $10,000. I think. So the third round was duck walk. Now that is my favorite element of Vogue, and I think part of the reason why that's my favorite element of Vogue is because I think it's like the hardest element of Vogue. Like you are literally. They talk about Meg Thee Stallion and her knees, baby. Duck walk is all knees, okay? And again, it had to be at least two people from your house that you were doing your duck walk with, okay? So, House of Mugler, they had three, and I saw my girl Tati. I know I love Tati. Tati was part of the duck walk. House of Garcon. Balenciaga got chopped. They were bad. They were off. It's like they didn't start on beat. I mean, not on beat, but they were off from the beginning. They could never kind of get back in sync. So they kind of deserve to be chopped, I would say. No, I take that back. Yeah, no, never mind. So then of course, we got down to the runway, not the runway, but the next round. And we had Mugler, Garcon, Tichi, and Orichi. So the young lady from the house of Tichi, she was like, listen, I'm more comfortable in my heels than I am in flats because I'm a duck walk assassin. Okay, that is what I do. That is what I am here for. And damn if she didn't go straight all the way through. She started in the first round and she never got chopped. And I know she was tired as hell by the time she got to the end because bitch, she was on her knees the whole time. She was on her knees, and not in a good way, the whole time. Okay? But she ended up winning that round, so she won $10,000 for the house of Tichi. Then we got down to the scores from the first round. So the lowest score of the night was the house of Garcon. So the judges agreed with me. They got a score of 34. Next, the next was the house of Richie with a score of 39. Again, I felt the same way. I think it was hard for them to come behind House of Tichi, but okay. Next, we had the house of Mugler. They had a 46. And then it came down to the top two houses, Balenciaga and Tichi. And it was only 1 point that separated them. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought Tichi got a 50. I don't know where they took points off, but, of course, I'm not a trained eye, okay? But the house of Balenciaga got a 48. And the house of Tichi 49, and they are a superior house again this week. No, not again this week. Because last week it was Balenciaga, so they are superior house this week. So again, it was a non-elimination. I was entertained. I thought this was a really good theme. I thought it was a really good ball. Tichi and Balenciaga continue to show that they are the house to beat. Garcon fell off this week. They were not at their normal, they didn't have a good performance this week. But listen, like Mother Stasha said, listen, if we gonna mess up, let it be a week that we can't go home. We'll take the critiques, we'll do it next week, and we'll come back better. And I'm like, you know what? That ain't a bad way of looking at it. Okay? Anyway, that's what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.